We produce about 13 billion Agarbatti sticks a year. So in Varshake, we fulfill 6 billion prayers. So you can imagine the volume. And in that volume, we need to make sure that a housewife who pays 10 rupees for 12 sticks, when she goes home and lights that 75 paisa Agarbatti stick, it should perform beautifully. Directly and indirectly, we have close to 20,000 families that work with us across the country. You think about it, cycle is called a cycle in every language in India. No matter where you are, which language you speak, it is called a cycle. And so he coined the word cycle Agarbatti, as simple and economical like a cycle. This was in 1950. Today, we create avionics hoses and pipes that go into jet engines, right from the Airbuses to Rolls-Royce. Almost all jet engines carry parts that go from Mysore. We've supplied to the Chandrayaan mission. We are now working with the Government of India, Defense Ministry on the Samudrayaan mission as well, where we're going to go for deep sea missions. Anybody ask me, what business are you in? I don't tell them I'm in the Agarbatti business. We are in the business of delivering hope day in and day out. Imagine a mother lights 2 Agarbatti sticks and then prays for the future for their children. Every businessman here prays for a better future. A research scholar here prays that his research paper gets, published. All of these prayers is what we are fulfilling day in and day out. And when that prayer is happening, if that Agarbatti stops burning, or if there's a bad smell that is emitted, it cannot be anything worse than, killing someone's hope. And that's where our technology actually comes in. Before we get into technology, I'll just give you a little bit of background about our company, our group, very quickly. Why the Agarbatti to aerospace? Our grandfather, Sri Ranga, he's the true entrepreneur in the family. He started the business in 1948. He was born pre-independence, 1908. He lost his father when he was just 12 years old in 1920. Fiercely determined man, had to take care of his mother and grandmother. Comes from a very small village called Vatrairupu in Madurai district. If you look at our family legacy, it's either a teacher or a purohit. So grandfather was the first one who had to do things on his own, had to go beyond his comfort, had to learn new things, had to upskill himself, learn typing, learn shorthand, learned English, learned crossword puzzles from a small village, learned how to repair timepieces, got his first job in Arvangad in cordite factory after he was married, packed up his home, took his mother, grandmother, moved to Nilgiris. Our chairman, Mr. Guru, was born there. Our eldest, Padmata, she was born there as well. Then he got a job in Consolidated Coffee Works in Cons Coffee. Moved to Coog because that's where opportunity came beckoning. My dad was actually born in Polybeta. Then around the time India got independence in 1948, he said, let me start a business of my own because that was what his passion was. He had a government job on one side because, in those days, post-independence, there were not too many qualified people. Grandfather was already a manager in the coffee works, so he immediately got a government job. A government job on one side, his dream of starting something on his other. My grandmother then stepped in and said, I will give you the initial seed capital. She pledged her wedding jewelry, gave him the money. Mysore was the biggest town to Coog. Came to Mysore, went to Santepete wholesale market, rented a house for 5 rupees, started the business from there in 1948. So that's the story of how our business began. Very soon he realized that to get ahead, you need technology. And in our industry, in Agarbatti, technology comes in fragrance creation. In 1948, he imported 2 books from France. Took him 14 months to get these 2 books. Set up his fragrance lab in 1950, started perfumery creation. With that, our first great success, Sugandha Mallika, was launched. He revolutionized the industry. He brought in new packaging trends, kept constantly innovating, kept pushing the barrier. The fundamental concept that he believed in is we have to constantly deliver value to the customer. At that point of time, when he went to the market once, one of the customers said, please give me that blue color box. And that's when he realized that to sell anything successfully, you need a brand name. And he thought and thought and thought. He had already started 3 Agarbatti brands under his 3 elder children's name. There was a Guru Agarbatti, there was a Murti Agarbatti, there was also Vasu Agarbatti. Guru Agarbatti and Murti Agarbatti failed immediately. Vasu Agarbatti clicked, and even in Karnataka, Vasu Agarbatti is very famous. But beyond just a name, he wanted to create a symbol that everybody in India understands. A symbol that is all-encompassing, that is personified by one's own hopes and dreams, that's powered by one's will. And he came up with the word cycle at that point of time. You think about it, cycle is called a cycle in every language in India. No matter where you are, which language you speak, it is called a cycle. And so he coined the word cycle Agarbatti, as simple and economical like a cycle. This was in 1950. And that's how the word cycle came about. A lot of people believe that grandfather was selling agarbatti on a cycle and that's why he called it cycle. He was selling agarbatti in a cycle, but before he started selling it in a cycle, he was actually walking to shops and selling it. He couldn't even afford a cycle in the initial days. So this is the story of how Cycle brand was created. The biggest difference that we brought into the industry is constant innovation and creating new trends, working with youngsters, going to the market, understanding market reality. And over the last 75 years, every product that we have created has stood the test of time and has become a trend creator in the market in itself. As was the case in those days, grandfather had 9 children. So 7 male children, and the 7 male children had to come into business. One of them was a doctor. So the 6 male children had to start doing something. You know, one was in marketing, one was in production, one was in finance. You can't create new departments for everybody, right? So that's how the family started to diversify. And the thought of diversification came about for doing new things and doing something beyond what you're comfortable. So the family went to Chennai, they set up a pharma bulk drug manufacturing facility there. We got into sachet fragrances, got into food products. We worked very closely with CFTRI, created the first Rasgulla mix, instant mix in the early 80s. Puliogre mix of Vasu was phenomenal. Even today, people remember Vasu Puliogre, which was all created with help of CFTRI. So we started to create newer business opportunities. We then got into herbal extracts and floral extracts around 1979 through Nesso, natural essential oils, where we created the world's first tuberose Rajnigandha from our Tinarsipur Taluk extract that was incorporated in Christian Dior's Poison perfume, which is today the world's largest selling fragrance. So even today, the core essence of Christian Dior Poison goes from Mysore, from Tinarsipur Taluk, after 35 years. And we've been able to maintain the quality and consistency because of constant technology upgradation and research and scientists that work with us hand in hand. So after that, in 1990s, late 90s, we got the opportunity to work with TVSC Electronics first and then with GE Medical. We had a very, very smart engineer, family friend with us who had just come back from the US. With him, we created Rungson's Electronics, started making just keyboards and basic hardware equipment. From that, we got into surface mount technology and assembly systems. Then we got into ultrasound imaging systems. We were doing ultrasound scanners for GE Medical Systems. And then we went into industrial automation and then avionics and then partly into defense as well. But we were predominantly contract manufacturers. So around 2013, we sold the contract manufacturing business to Cyient and we started our own product build company called Rungson's Aerospace. Today, we create avionics hoses and pipes that go into jet engines, right from the Airbuses to Rolls-Royce. Almost all jet engines carry parts that go from Mysore. We've supplied to the Chandrayaan mission. We are now working with the Government of India, Defense Ministry on the Samudrayaan mission as well, where we're going to go for deep sea missions. Indian helicopters are now fitted with Atmanirbhar Bharat, manufactured in Mysore, heat exchangers that go into all our helicopters in Indian defense. So really proud of what we've done over the years in electronics business as well. So from Agarbatti to aerospace, that's how it happens. And I think one of our CEOs who's here with us he's a second generation CEO, Mr. Suresh. His father was with us for 45 years. He is now with us. He once reminded me, sir, why are you looking at Rungson's Aerospace? If you line up every stick of Agarbatti from here to moon, we can go and come back 12 times to moon. So we produce about we produce about 13 billion Agarbatti sticks a year. So in Varshake, we fulfill 6 billion prayers. So you can imagine the volume. And in that volume, we need to make sure that a housewife who pays 10 rupees for 12 sticks, when she goes home and lights that 75 paisa Agarbatti stick, it should perform beautifully. Every 13 billion sticks has to perform. So imagine the level of quality testing, the quality checking, the technology, the traceability, the systems and processes that we have, because directly and indirectly, we have close to 20,000 families that work with us across the country. So we have to integrate the entire supply chain. We have to integrate each and every quality inspection, traceability, management, and then the whole thing goes to consumers. Today, Cycle Pure Agarbathi is available in 15 lakh shops in India. We are among the highest distributed products. We are among the top 20 in India in terms of distribution. We have 5,500 depots through which we supply to almost, now we have 45 depots to which we supply to 5,500 distributors who then go to these 15 lakh outlets. Our company sales employees have a technology-driven Salesforce automation app that is connected to a business engine that has AI built into it that helps them do predictive analysis for sales, for sales management. Our logistics has a TMS system, a transportation management system that is built real time, on which we can actually measure day-to-day transportation and logistics and track our inventory as well. So what I'm trying to say is, without technology, I think Agarbatti company or otherwise, we would not have progressed to the level that we are. So that is why I'm here. So this is the background. Now, what my belief is in technology, I'm an engineer, okay? And as an engineer, I then did my MBA. I came back to India and I started running our business from 2000. We started to grow, we started to scale. What was 100 today is 15x or 20x in terms of size and scale of operation. As an engineer, few mistakes that I made, because I know there are entrepreneurs here, there are researchers here. One thing that I didn't, what I do, which I'm proud of, is that I build a process to every action that I undertake. Any business challenge, any market challenge, any process challenge, I do the DFX test, I do the design for testing, design for manufacturability, and then see if I can actually get that product to market on time, build a process around it. Even in our shop floor, we have a set process, we have an ISO manual, we ensure that everybody follows processes. By doing all of this, what happened is the organization got extremely quality conscious and consistency improved. Repeatability became very good. But what we lost by doing this is innovation. What would happen earlier, each and every individual employee would think on their own, come up with newer challenges, come up with newer solutions whenever we had a problem. Today, because of the process and the structure that we built, creativity almost went away from the organization. And if you want to innovate as researchers, innovation will not happen if you don't have a creative mindset. And creativity comes only if you have curiosity and you are willing to explore. If you are narrow, you will never be able to explore. And I kind of put my team in a narrow box and said, this is a tunnel and you need to follow this tunnel to get consistent output. So now I'm trying to break all these barriers, get back to creativity, get back to creative thinking, ensuring that my shop floor and my employees start discovering again what opportunities are ahead, visit the market, understand market reality. So all of you technology specialists here, please spend time with the customer, understand for whom you're developing what you're doing, for whom you're creating these solutions, and then everything will be okay after that. That being said, I never lose an opportunity to tell you the importance of sustainability. Cycle Pure Agarbathi is the only zero carbon incense manufacturer in the world. We completely offset our entire carbon footprint right from procurement till the time it reaches a retail outlet. So when you go out there and buy our product, you can be rest assured that there's no impact on Mother Earth, from each and every product that we create. And this year, we've already offset our entire plastic footprint as well. We've upcycled each and every plastic that we put out. So sustainability for me is extremely dear, and I think it is future calling. Like Doctor was mentioning, a lot of people misinterpret it in many ways. There is something called greenwashing, where people just claim to be green and eco-friendly when they actually are not. But it is left to people like us who are educated or literate to communicate what sustainability means. So I'd request all of you to please follow the sustainability path in whatever way you can. I think it is for the future and it is for our nation. And ultimately, what I want to tell you all is that we live in a great nation. India is flourishing. The technology stack that the nation is building, with giga computing becoming a reality, with 5G access that is happening day in and day out, information will be at everybody's fingertips. Knowledge, the way we are perceiving it, is not going to be looked at the same way. Research, the way we are addressing it today, will not be the same just 3 years down the line. I have in fact renamed our R&D department, Research and Development Department, as Innovation and Insights, I&I. Get me insights and then innovate. Build curiosity and start doing creative. Now that's how the whole world is going to shift. People will need solutions. You need to address real life problems and come up with plans that can address 1 billion people's problems. And that's the world that we're going to be living in very soon. So each and every researcher, the opportunity is phenomenal. Innovate, be inquisitive, stay curious, and the sky is the limit. With your intelligence, with the effort you put through your years of studying and learning and understanding, just get the market knowledge, what we used to call native intelligence of market reality. Get insights, convert that into an innovative idea. That'll then, sky is the limit in our nation. Right? Earlier for startups, capital was a challenge. Today, money is in abundance as well. Funding is available. All you need is somebody who fiercely believes in an idea and takes it forward. So wish you all the very best of luck. CFTRA is doing amazing innovations, helping the food industry in India. And I'm really, really proud that you're all part of Mysore and our nation. Wish you all the very best of luck. God bless and Jai Hind.
ಇದು ರೈಟ್ ನ್ಯೂಸ್.